Welcome into WTOL 11 Plus. I'm Sophia Pericone. We want to give you a heads up on some winter weather we're getting later today. Let's bring in meteorologist Kaylee Bowers. Kaylee, we've got an alert day issued for today, at least the back half of today, right?
Yeah, Sophia, that's exactly right. So your morning plans, you will be absolutely fine. We're tracking those cloudy skies, those colder temperatures. But as far as the afternoon and the evening goes, that's when we'll be seeing that snow, that sleet, that freezing rain, some rain causing for some icy conditions. But not everyone's seeing the same exact thing. The further north you are, you'll be seeing that chance for some snow. The further south you are, the higher chance for some ice. So as far as the timing on this goes, again, that alert day not in place for the entire day. It's kind of like a half alert day. So again, your morning lunchtime hour, you'll be fine. It's going to be kicking off around 3 o'clock this afternoon, going throughout the evening, eventually wrapping up around 10 o'clock to midnight for us. Again, rain, snow, freezing rain, and sleet. Notice those temperatures, upper 20s, close to the low 30s. So some very slick roadways are expected. Now, Sophia, we asked on Facebook, as far as questions go, do we have any questions that we're seeing right now?
Yes, so I'm going to read them right from our Facebook page right here. So a few people are asking about their specific areas. So we have Devin wondering, what time will the bad weather start in Defiance? We've got Kevin wondering about Kenton, and Pamela is asking about Arlington. Any time you can give them for those areas?
Yeah, so great thing. Thank you guys to everyone who sends in sends in questions over on our social media pages. It's the best way to ask them during these videos or whenever we are live as well too. Let's look at this hour by hour. So first off, here's what we're seeing for this morning. Just seeing those cloudy skies. Let's fast forward to 11 o'clock. Still dealing with those cloudy skies for everyone. Fast forward to around 2 p.m. Again, that arrival time, just depending on where you are. Most of it will be around 1 to 2, even 3 o'clock. Looks like we are getting a new model update in. But notice, the further north you are, Wauseon, Bryan, Defiance, over towards Bowling Green, southern Wood County, mainly dealing with that snow indicated by that shade of blue. The further south you are, parts of Findlay, Wyandotte County, Upper Sandusky, Ottawa, and even a little bit over towards the Fort Wayne area, seeing that freezing rain and also that sleet. But let's look down, see that little bit area in Wyandotte and Marion County, that green. There is that rain. So again, it just depends on where you are, but as far as the timing of it goes, the further north you are, the higher chance for some snow accumulation. Here's 5 p.m. If you're in Toledo, Maumee, Perrysburg, Bowling Green, Fremont, Sandusky, Norwalk, notice could see being right on that snow line. Some freezing rain, sleet also possible over towards Mansfield. Southern Wyandotte County still seeing some of that rain, but it switches over towards Findlay, Ottawa, a little bit into Defiance, seeing that sleet and also seeing that freezing rain. Also, when you ask these questions, not only do we talk about this during snow and ice events, you guys also ask, what about my town? What about my county during tornadoes, during thunderstorms? So perfect time to locate where your county is and also where your city is as well too. So thank you once again for all those questions. Here's 7 p.m. Most of that freezing rain, sleet, and rain has pushed on out of here. So it starts off as snow for quite a few of us, transitions to kind of a little bit of everything. That's snow, freezing rain, sleet, and rain, and it'll transition back to snow later on this evening. Here's 7 p.m. Monroe, Adrian, Hillsdale, Wauseon, and notice just a few pockets of some of that light snow, eventually pushing on out of here. Here's 10 o'clock. Most of us done with that precipitation, seeing some cloudy skies, and notice those temperatures are slowly dropping. Now, Sophia, I know we had someone ask about what to expect for Sunday morning. What exactly was their question?
Yes, so they are looking at Sunday morning in general and early afternoon. What can they expect? Is this going to carry over into Sunday morning? Do people need to have their ice skates on and ready to go so they don't slip and fall and hit the ground? What should people know for Sunday morning?
You know, not a bad idea. I always say this, kind of walk like a penguin. Just walk a little bit slow, keep your feet firmly on the ground, just kind of skid your way from point A to point B. If you're a pet owner and have to take your pups outside, I had this issue the other day when we had our last ice event. I was going very slow, and Barkley, my dog, she said, "Oh no, we're gonna go fast." Take it slow out on the roadways also, on the sidewalks, and it's gonna happen, unfortunately. People are gonna be falling. We've all been there, right, Sophia? But yeah, we're definitely seeing those cloudy skies. I'm not calling her out or anything. We've all fallen.
I did fall yesterday in downtown Maumee. If you saw it, no, you didn't, but I'm in pain this morning, Kaylee.
Well, I'm glad you're slowly healing. Sorry to call you out right there.
That's
but
okay. It happened. It's best to just address it.
Exactly. We've all been there before, but tomorrow we will be seeing the remnants of this system. Again, all 4 different types of precipitation. And I haven't mentioned this yet. Notice this on the side banner right here. The timing again this afternoon and this evening. Icy roads, could see some poor travel conditions. Give yourself that extra time. If you don't have to be outside this afternoon, this evening, stay inside. No need to be outside, but the big thing, notice that little box right there with all those black and white dots? That's the QR code. Download the WTOL 11 weather app. It is a wonderful and useful resource during events like this. But let's get back to your question, because Sunday, completely different. And I know there's a big game going on. We'll have your Super Bowl forecast coming up in a little bit. But Sunday morning, yes, we'll still see some of the remnants from that icy conditions we will be seeing for tonight. Otherwise, no precipitation, just cloudy skies. It will still be fairly cold, seeing temperatures below freezing, still below average, in the upper 20s and also in the low 30s. Here's 5 p.m. Getting ready for your Super Bowl parties. Still could see some slick spots on the roadways, could still see some black ice on those sidewalks. Still, just take it slow, but really not tracking any precipitation going on into Sunday. And as far as those overnight hours go, could see that mixture of clear skies and clouds, but temperature-wise, dipping back down to those upper teens and also into those low 20s. Now, waking up Monday morning, you'll also be fine. On and off clouds and clear skies. And notice we could see a little bit of some sunshine Monday morning. However, not lasting long, as those cloudy skies are back for at least a little bit in the afternoon. But it's February, it's Ohio. But I want to talk more about this alert day for this evening. As far as that impact level goes, again, you hear that sound right there? Can we hear it one more time, Mark? Just hear that sound one more time. That's when you know we have the alert day. When you hear that sound, when you see all of our red graphics, today, that impact level, it's going to be around a 2. Again, this morning, you're fine. This afternoon and this evening, that's when that wintry mixture will push on in. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain. If you live down towards, again, Upper Sandusky, Findlay, Ottawa, you have the higher chance to see some snow a little bit further south. And speaking of snow, Sophia, I believe we did have a question about snow totals and what to expect with that too.
Yes, you read my mind, and this is something I'm also just personally wondering, but we'll stick with Lori's question first. Lori down in Bryan wants to make sure Bryan gets a little bit of snow. Any chance that they'll get some accumulation, that they'll be able to get the sleds out and hit the slopes, the hills?
Yeah, so it just depends on where you are. Now, Bryan is a little further north into Williams County. Could see a little bit of that snow and that sleet. They're kind of right on that line, but the snow is possible in Williams County. The further north you are, the higher chance for some snow accumulation. That purple from Norwalk, Sandusky, Fremont, Bowling Green, a little bit into Fulton County and Henry County, and again, a little bit into Williams and Defiance County. Could see that sleet and icy mixture, but the further south you are, Seneca County, Wyandotte County, over towards Putnam and Hancock counties, have that higher chance for some ice. So let me show you as far as our snow accumulation graphic goes, because some snow lovers will be happy, some snow lovers will be disappointed. It really is kind of a 50-50 as far as who will see snow and where. So again, the further north and east especially, you can see around 1 to 3 inches of snow. I mean, notice this, Tiffin may see ½ an inch of snow, but just go a little further north, Fremont, nearly 3 inches of snow. Bowling Green could be close to 2½ inches of snow. Toledo could be close to 2½ to almost 3 inches of snow. And so far, this is the least snowiest winter we have had on record. And we're gonna have a graphic about that coming up in just a moment. But yeah, so as far as snow accumulation goes, it's the further north. Now, Sophia, I believe we did have an ice question as well too, right?
Yes, Juno wants to know if they should put ice skates on to get to their car. And again, we talked about my little fall because of the ice. Do we need our ice skates? You know, safety is top of mind for a lot of people. I know you mentioned walking like a penguin. Mm-hmm. Is this something we need to be keeping in mind tonight?
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as having the ice skates out, but anything to get you from your front door to your vehicle if you want ice skates. But let me show you as far as that ice accumulation goes, because it just depends on where you are Also, so remember that graphic I just showed you a moment ago with the snow? The further north you are, that ice, it's creeping further south. So from Norwalk, Tiffin, Upper Sandusky, Findlay, Ottawa, could see anywhere from about 1/10 to almost 1/4 of an inch of ice is possible. So some very slick roadways, whether it's snow, freezing rain, sleet, or also that rain. But I mean, 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice, that's pretty decent. I mean, just think back to, what was it, Thursday morning when we saw some ice accumulation. We're gonna do this all over again, but the further north you are, higher chance for snow. The further south you are, the higher chance also for some ice. Now, I've been mentioning snow, sleet, freezing rain, rain. Those are the 4 different types of precipitation. So let me show you this because it all has to do with the thermal profile. How warm the air is will depend on how it falls down here at the surface. This is pretty interesting because up in the clouds, it all starts out as snow because the higher up in the atmosphere you are, the colder the temperatures are. But as it goes further down into our level of the atmosphere, into the surface, as far as rain goes, it falls as rain because that column of warm air stays exactly like that. Now, as far as freezing rain goes, and notice this blue line, this is very important. This is the cold air that's less than 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So freezing rain, it starts out as that precipitation. It starts out as that rain, but then once it hits that colder air, it freezes on contact. But notice it's a little further down, closer towards the surface. Sleet is very similar. Starts out as that precipitation, it hits that thermal layer, and then it falls once again as more of those pellets. Think of, what is it, Dippin' Dots. Kind of thinking like that sleet, that grapple sort of feel, those little specks that you see sometimes. But as far as snow goes, it starts out as snow and it stays falling as snow. So pretty interesting as far as rain, freezing rain, sleet, and that snow goes. And we're also gonna talk about some black ice when it comes to that sleet and that freezing rain. Some tips, keep that steering wheel straight. We've all been there. It's been scary. You wanna jerk a little bit to the side to avoid other drivers. Keep it straight and don't brake. Just lift your foot lift your foot off of the gas. That's a bit of a tongue twister. And take it off the accelerator to just slow down. So please be careful. And of course, crews are gonna be working as fast and as quickly as they can to get the roads cleared off, whether again, it is snow or it is ice. Looking at across the state for this morning, a good portion of northern Ohio and eastern, central, and a little bit of western Ohio under a winter weather advisory. This begins at 1 o'clock this afternoon, going until those early morning hours of Sunday. So today, a little bit of everything. We're seeing morning clouds, eventually seeing that wintry mixture. Again, that timing this afternoon throughout this evening. Temperature-wise, upper 20s and those low 30s. And of course, while I have you here, send in your pet photos over on my Facebook page. So looking at your dog walking forecast for today, we're gonna kick off the day with that green paw. But by this afternoon and this evening, it transitions to that red paw because you already know, that wintry mixture. But look at this crew hanging out outside. Yeah, hang out with your pups this morning. But I'll tell you what, tomorrow, especially the further north you are with the several inches of snow, I bet your pups, if they love the snow, they will absolutely love tomorrow to play out in the snow. So your morning and early afternoon plans, travel plans, you're fine. Go ahead, you have the green light. Timing of this between about 2 and 3 o'clock, you'll start to see a little bit of that precipitation push on in. From about early dinner time, late lunch, into those evening hours, that's when that accumulation really starts to pick up. Late tonight, eventually it will start to wrap on up between about 10 o'clock and midnight, just depending on where you are. We'll still see some icy impacts early Sunday morning as far as those roadways go, but eventually clearing up as we go on throughout the rest of the day for Sunday. So tonight, still dealing with that wintry mixture. That slushy accumulation is expected, and I'm going to talk more about the sunset in just a moment. Really excited. So again, today, that alert day in place, wintry weather, snow, sleet, freezing rain. Of course, if you haven't already, download that WTOL 11 weather app. So this isn't the only alert day we're talking about, by the way. We have one for today. Sunday, we're fine. But we have issued an alert day for Thursday for the chance for probably the most snow accumulation we've seen so far for this season. As far as timing goes, as far as accumulation goes, it's still too early to determine, but this is what we can show you as far as that potential for some snow. I know we had some viewers ask on social media, what about later on into the week? So southern and central Ohio had that chance for some snow Tuesday morning. That's gonna miss us. Let's get through Tuesday, let's get through Wednesday, let's get to Thursday. We're watching this low pressure system push on through. And it's a very similar setup. We're seeing snow to the north, rain to our south, and also seeing that freezing rain and sleet and that icy accumulation early Thursday morning. But for us here in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan, have that higher chance for some snow. So of course, stay with us as we continue to learn more throughout these next several days. But I mentioned the snow accumulation. So far this season has been the least snowiest winter we've had on record. We haven't even made it to 6.5 inches of snow just yet. But just think back to last winter and the winter before that, where we seen around 9 inches of snow by February 7th. Yeah, we are still way behind schedule. Now, Sophia, I believe some folks were asking about the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, people want to know just in general, what can they expect? I know some people, if they're probably going to the Super Bowl, they're probably already down south, but there's a lot of Super Bowl parties that happen up here. What should people be prepared for in terms of traveling to their parties tomorrow early afternoon?
Yeah, so the nice thing is this winter weather, it pushes on out of here later on tonight. So your Super Bowl forecast, hey, maybe if you have friends going down to New Orleans. Remember, just a few weeks ago, they saw 8 inches of snow. That's more than we've seen this entire winter season. But down in New Orleans, they're seeing temperatures in the 60s with that mixture of sunshine and clouds. So regardless if it's the Chiefs or the Eagles who wins, I think this forecast is winning as well too. So things looking pretty nice, but not only Super Bowl, Sophia, there's something else going on at the end of this week. Might have to deal with a big heart, right?
Yes, and you mentioned Thursday. We've got an alert day issued, some snow possibly in the mix. For Valentine's Day, any chance that'll melt off, or are we still expecting maybe a snowy, wet Valentine's Day?
I mean, we'll still see the remnants of that system that we saw on what we will be seeing on Thursday, but as far as actual Valentine's goes, it's gonna be another cold and another cloudy day. Temperatures are still at least 5 to almost 7 degrees below average for the middle of February, which is still crazy to think about, the middle of February. But something else I'm really excited about, tonight is our last 5 o'clock sunset.
Woo.
Well, thank you.
Whoop.
I agree, yes, we can be so happy about that. Tonight our sunset, 5:59, and in just a few weeks, we'll be seeing a sunset around 6:23. So let's look at the rest of your forecast real quick. Thanks for hanging out with us today as well on WTOL 11+. Temperatures continue to stay below average and pretty much below freezing for the next week. As of now, the next warmest day, still a touch below average, will be in the mid-30s by next Saturday. And we're still tracking below average temperatures from the middle to almost the end of February, which is right on track with our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. As far as precipitation goes, actually tracking some above average precipitation. But looking ahead towards the rest of the month, notice our average highs continue to climb for meteorological winter. Upper 30s by Valentine's Day, and then by the end of February, upper 40s. Now, we've been mentioning this all morning long, all afternoon long, all evening long, depending on when you're watching this. Download the WTOL 11 weather app if you haven't already. Just search WTOL 11 weather in the App Store. It's a free download. And here's the nice thing. It's compatible with Apple and Google Play. And there's so much wonderful information, including your interactive radar, your hour-by-hour forecast, your extended forecast, plus you can also submit photos and videos. If we can just hide the bug here one second, if we can just hide it for 1 second if possible. If not, it's no big deal. Right there, thank you. There's a More tab right here. You can submit your photos and videos to be showcased on Off the Radar, on our social media pages, and also on WTOL 11. And speaking of videos, how about personalized videos sent from us here on the weather team directly to your devices? So go check that out. Now, as far as the app goes, really excited to talk about that. But Sophia, I know someone is really excited about something else that's coming up too, right?
Having WTOL 11 plus, right?
That too, but what about maybe a spring coming up?
Oh, yes, of course. See, I was not expecting, you're talking about snow and everything. I'm a little down about it that I completely forgot that we've got an exciting season ahead, and that is spring, which of course falls right before summer, my favorite season. When can we expect a warm up, at least for springtime? How many days are we from springtime?
So we're still quite a ways away. Well, depending on how you feel, 40 days away until spring. This could be quite a ways away. This could be, oh, we're right around the corner. 40 days until spring, March 20th. Yeah, we're a little less than 6 weeks away until the first day of spring. And how about that? That sunset at 7:46 p.m. But we do have some holidays even before that. Valentine's Day is 6 days away. I'm really excited about this one, daylight saving time, which will be happening 4 weeks from tonight. So excited. Yes, we lose that hour of sleep, but we gain that extra hour of daylight. St. Patrick's Day is 37 days away, and there's that first day of spring with that average high of 50 degrees. Oh, I am so excited. But let's look at your extended forecast real quick because, again, that alert day in place for this afternoon and for this evening. Temperatures are still pretty cold, upper 20s, low 30s. There's that wintry mixture arriving later on this afternoon into this evening. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, on and off clouds and some sunshine is expected. Temperatures remain in the low 30s. Now, Wednesday evening, another system arrives that has had us issue that alert day again for Thursday with a chance for some scattered snow showers. Temperatures still remain in the upper 20s and low 30s. Valentine's Day as of now, quiet, cloudy, but then we are watching another system for next weekend. Rain and snow possible and temperatures in the low to mid 30s. And then President's Day, 10 days from now, cloudy skies and seeing those temperatures in the 20s. So that's looking at your extended forecast. Sophia, tell the folks one more time, how can they download the WTOL 11 weather app?
It's free to download on your Apple or Android phones. Just go to the App Store and you'll get our weather sent right to you from our wonderful team of WTOL 11 meteorologists. Again, it's free to download and you can have the forecast right in the palm of your hands. And thanks so much for joining us here on WTOL 11 Plus. Have a good and safe Saturday.